I wanted to connect with each and every sailor on that ship, all 310 of them. The sailors who were doing the high-profile jobs, as well as the sailors who were doing the seemingly menial jobs that, that we needed to have done in order to operate our ship. And I decided the only way I could connect with each one would be to interview every sailor individually. It was just myself, the sailor, the command master chief, and it gave me the opportunity to look into each sailor's eyes and tell them what we're about. That we're about being number one in our industry. We're not playing to come in number two, and that I can't do it without you. It's not a one-man show. In these interviews, I got to know my sailors, their names, their spouses' names, their children's names, their hometowns. I asked them what their goals were while they were in the Navy. Most of my sailors never had anybody in their lives to sit them down and say, hey, what are your goals? How can I help you achieve them? I asked them why they joined the Navy. I found out that over 50% joined because they wanted to go to college, but their families were too poor to send them, so they joined for the GI Bill for the tuition assistance. Same reason why I went to the Naval Academy. 6 or 7 kids, my family was too poor to send me to college. And when I found out how many wanted to go to college, I decided we're going to help you get in. We offered the SAT exam on board the ship. At the time, 1,600 was a perfect score. When the results came back, one of my entry-level seamen, she was 19 years old. She had been doing chipping and painting with the deck force. She scored a 1490 out of 1,600. Now, I know that may not impress many of you, but I took that thing twice when I was in high school. And I'm not sure I got 1490 combined the 2 times I took it. And when I realized how smart my crew was, I added 3 questions to the interviews. What do you like most about Benfold? What do you like least? What would you change if you were the captain of this ship? One sailor comes in and says, do you know how many times we've painted this ship in the last 12 months? And I said, no. And he said, 6 times. And every time we paint the ship, it takes us a month to paint the ship. So every other month, we're painting this ship. He said, have you ever painted your home? I said, yes. He said, it sucks, doesn't it? And I said, what's your point? We've been painting ships for 235 years. He said, did you ever stop to notice why we have to paint the ship every other month? He said, every major piece of equipment that's topside on this ship that's being held in place to the hull, it's being held in place with nuts, bolts, screws, washers, and fasteners that are made out of ferrous metal that rust in salt water. And when it rusts, it streaks rust stains down the side of the ship. He said, have you ever heard of stainless steel? And I said, you mean the stuff that doesn't rust in salt water? And he said, exactly. This is stuff I tolerated my entire career. That's what we do. We've been doing it for forever. Then I started looking at this. This is $5 an hour work. This is work that's keeping us from figuring out how to defend ourselves better. So I took out our US government Visa card, scoured the globe looking for materials we could change this stuff out with, spent about $25,000, painted the ship. We did not have to paint the ship again for the next 10 months. That program has since been implemented on every ship in the entire US Navy. And it came because a 21-year-old sailor raised his hand and said, hey, Captain, you'll get a load of this. I used to say to the crew, it's your ship. You own it just as much as I do.